Hey everyone, and welcome to the $1 million portfolio journey. It is Wednesday, 14th of May 2025, and it's around 1:30 here in London. And I'm going to do my investment for today. So, what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be investing another £500 into the stock market. I'm going to be investing through my ISA, and I will be investing in MicroStrategy. So the stock market is looking very good. It's looking very strong. It's recaptured all the losses for 2025, so we're in a good position. So chances are, that we're going to go on a bit of a bull run now. So I'm just trying to accumulate as many units as I possibly can, and I've been doing this since 2025. So even though the economy, everything has been really bad, investor sentiment has been negative, there's been so many like stocks, companies, everything just going down, I've still managed to control my emotions and invest every day. So I've invested anything between 300 and 500 pounds, mostly 500 pounds every day into the stock market when it was open, and I've done it through the bad period. So it's really good because I've actually got the experience now where I can say, like, when there's a bad period, I don't get afraid or I don't get spooked. I just keep on buying, being disciplined and buying into these companies and not being afraid of accumulating more units. So that's the journey so far. So for all my new viewers who are, watching this channel, welcome. Really nice to have you here. And just to let you know, my goal for my investment portfolios is to build it up to $1 million. So at the moment I've got around $190,000 in all my brokerage accounts, so I'm around 5.3x away from going to that $1 million mark. So there's a long way to go, but I've been going in the right direction. So that's my ultimate goal, to get to $1 million as soon as possible. And I have four very, very basic rules. So the first rule is long-term investing. Basically anything that I buy today, I'm not going to sell for the next 5 years. So I'm going to keep it for at least 5 years, not sell anything. And I'm going to try and extend it up to 10 years. But at the same time, I want to reach that million milestone as soon as possible. So that's rule number one. Rule number two is I'm a very aggressive investor. So like I said, I try to invest £500 into the stock market every day. And I'm going to try and invest every day something. So hopefully I'm aspiring to get to £1,000 a day soon. But, that's a long way away. But that is my ultimate goal. I'm an aggressive investor and I want to invest every day. There's no rule that says you have to invest once a month or once a year. If you're comfortable investing, or if you want to invest every day, there's nothing low or nothing sad about it. It's just you're taking more control of your money. You're actively investing in your money. You're doing your research. You're doing your due diligence. So you want to be on top of it. So I do it every day, and I know there's going to be a lot of comments saying, "Oh, why do you do it every day? What's the point? Do it once a month or whatever. You're wasting your time." I actually enjoy doing this. I like, investing money. I like to see, where I'm investing, how I'm investing every day, keep the habit going. So that's the reason I do it every day. Third rule is I'm a very, very volatile investor. So if you look at the screen, you'll see companies like Tesla, MicroStrategy, and Nvidia, probably three of the most volatile companies in the stock market. So I'm becoming more and more immune to volatility. I've kind of changed my psychology around. I know that these are three really, really good companies. I know that the market sometimes overreacts to good news and bad news. So, I'm not too concerned about volatility. I'm just using it to my advantage. So whenever there's a volatility strike, and and the stock goes down 20, 30, 40, even 50, 60%, Tesla's been down, I'm still going to be buying unless there's a fundamental change in the thesis of the company. So that's so I'm very volatile investor. And finally, rule number 4 is I'm a very, very tax efficient investor. So whatever I invest, I try to invest it in a tax efficient way. So I maximize all our family's ISAs and SIPs before I go into the general investment account, because I pay a lot of money in taxes. So the last thing I want to do is, when I realize my profits, to like give some of that away to the government. So what I do is I earn the money. I work 7 days a week. Whatever I can get my hands on, I do it. I work 14, sometimes 12 to 14 hours a day, just working. And whatever I make, I live very frugally, and then I put some money aside for household expenses, and then I put some estimate some money for taxation as well. Keep that in a separate account. And then what I do is I invest the remaining money into the stock market, and I've been doing so, and so far it's going good. I'm enjoying myself. I'm watching the money grow. I'm watching my experience grow, which is the main thing. I've been through like a little bear market now without panicking. I've just kept on buying. It has been depressing at times, it has been like very negative at times, but you just have to keep on going. When you're going through a bad period, you just have to just keep on investing, because when you zoom out, you will see that the stock market always goes up. So just keep on investing no matter what. So those are the 4 rules, and my focus basically for the future is AI, artificial intelligence, autonomy, and Bitcoin. I think these 3 areas are going to play a very, very big part in everyone's lives. So I just want to be a part of that at the beginning, before it kind of reaches escape velocity. So that's my investment thesis. So let's have a look at the portfolio now. So this is just one brokerage account. So as you can see, it's above 100k now, which is good in pounds. So when I take all the investments in all our brokerage accounts, and then if I convert that into dollars, it's around 180 to 185,000 dollars. So I'm about 5.3x away from $1 million. So hopefully I'm going to be getting that. I'm anticipating that I'm going to get there between year 2 and year 3 if I continue at the pace I'm going at the moment. So hopefully that's what's going to happen, but you never know. It could take longer, it could be sooner. So I'm just not too much concerned about that, because I've given myself a time frame of between 5 and 10 years. But the sooner I get to $1 million, the sooner I can scale from there, if that makes sense. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have a look at drill down to the individual companies. So today, Tesla trading 344, up 3%. So you might remember at the lows, it was at 221. So I just kept on buying every day, just kept on buying before I switched to MicroStrategy. So MicroStrategy is down about 0.5%, and again I kept on buying MicroStrategy through the ups and the downs, and it's paid off as well. So I have about 75 units in MicroStrategy in all my brokerage accounts, but I'm trying to take that to 200, then Nvidia to 200, and then Tesla to 500. And then if we look at Nvidia, today it's up around 3%. Last 3 months, the lowest period was when it was at $94. So again, I've managed to get through this period, which has been very miserable, has been very it's basically been a headache looking at the brokerage account and seeing it go down every day, but still buying. I'm not gonna lie to you, it has been difficult, but once you get that badge, once you get through that period, you can use that experience to get through the next period and then the next one, because inevitably there's always going to be dips in the market, and you just have to train yourself to take advantage of this. Even though it's counterintuitive, you just want to sell and just put it into treasury bonds. So that's the portfolio update. Now I'm going to top up my account with another £500. Okay, so I'm just gonna top up my stocks and shares ISA by £500. And with free trade, it's instant, and you can buy like fractional shares as well, which is great. Okay, so done that. So I've got £500 to invest, and I have 12,850 remaining in my ISA account, my 25-26 allowance. So I'm going to try and max that out as soon as possible. So yeah, so that's done, and now I'm going to go back into my portfolio, go into MicroStrategy and buy more of MicroStrategy, and just going to check how many shares I get for my money. So I used to get at its peak about 1.7, 1.8 shares. So today I got 1.5864 shares in MicroStrategy. So I'm just gonna update my spreadsheet now to reflect that. So 1.5864. Okay, so that's done. So that's fine. So now I'm just gonna have a look at how many units I have. So Tesla, I have a 400, just over 450 units. In MicroStrategy, I have just under 76.5 units. So my target at the moment is 100 shares in MicroStrategy. Nvidia, I'm looking at 34 shares at the moment, just over. I'm trying to get to 100 once I reach 100 in MicroStrategy, and then I'm going to go back to Tesla and get that remaining 50, and then another 100 in MicroStrategy, and then another 100 in Nvidia. So the targets are 500, 200 and 200 respectively. So I'm at 90% of my Tesla target, 38% of my MicroStrategy target, and 17% of my Nvidia target. So again, a long way to go, but you know, this is not something you can do overnight. You just have to be disciplined and work hard, invest hard, and you know, at the end of the day, hopefully you're going to be left with something, you know, that you can be proud of, so, an achievement basically. So let's go back to the general investment, the brokerage account again, and you can see GIA just under 50, stocks and shares just under 28, and the SIP just under 44. So all ticking along nicely. But like I said, if it was down, like if it went down to about, you know, if my GIA, general investment account, went down to 25 now, my stocks and shares ISA went down to 17, my self-invested personal pension went down to 22 or something, you know, it would be very painful and it wouldn't be nice to look at, but I'm just gonna keep on buying because I'm gonna get more for my money, if that makes sense. So I don't know if it's gonna go down to those levels again, but who knows, you know, if it does, I'm gonna keep on buying. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it inspiring. I hope you found it motivational. I hope you've learned something, or you've got some conviction, or I hope you've got something from this video. And if you have, just like and subscribe to my channel. My channel is growing, but I want to get to 2,000 subscribers by the end of 2025. So that's the target that I have. So if you do find it useful, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and join me on my journey and go on your own journey. You can start with £1 a day and then keep on scaling, and scale your knowledge as well. Learn more about the company. There's no rule that says you have to diversify and invest in 1,000,000 companies. If you're doing your research, if you know what you're doing, and if you've got the conviction, once you do a deep dive, you'll be convinced with the companies that you've invested in. And unless the investment thesis has changed, you're just going to continue investing, and you will be rewarded, because it's not terribly hard to find great companies. What's hard is just sticking with that company through the ups and downs. So you just have to keep on buying no matter what, once you believe in the company. The S&P 500, like, you know, it is a viable way to make a lot, but it's going to take time and you have to be patient. So if you want to go down that route, that's fine. But there are people like me who want to reach that million as soon as possible and then scale it as much as possible, because they've done their homework. They know that these companies are going to do well over the long term, maybe not probably the short term, but over the long term they will do well. So that's it for today. Hopefully, you know, you found it useful, and I will catch you tomorrow with another update, and I'll hopefully be investing another £500 into the stock market through my ISA. So have a great evening. Take care. Bye.